It's that time again.
Hi everybody, welcome to our channel, or welcome back to our channel.
If you're new.
Chris has got a mouthful, so he can't talk right this second, but I'm sure he's thinking that to you. I just had to get on here. I was going to tape it when I got home, but I had to get on now because I just killed an Ohio State bird. Do any of you know what the Ohio State bird is?
A cardinal?
A mosquito. Haven't you ever heard that?
I didn't even know they said that was a bird.
It's just a joke that people tell. But lighten up.
No, it's not a light nothing. I honestly had no clue. Let's just say I had no clue that was even a running joke around here.
It's a running joke. Anyway, it's dead now. And I said, yeah, it's definitely spring.
No?
So, bah humbug. Oh man, Chris in the store. Put that down, man. Chris in the store was driving me crazy.
I didn't mean to.
He didn't mean to, but he was. He gets anxious sometimes. And then he'll repeat the same thing over and over. And so we were going through the men's clothing section because Chris needs a new belt. He needed a new belt. And the only ones he could find were like $40. And I was like, no, Chris, I'm not paying that. We'll have to go to Walmart. And he was like, oh, okay. But he really wanted a belt tonight. It wasn't that he didn't want one from Walmart. He just wanted it tonight. And so I'm like, well, let me see. And I go over there and he said, what section was it, Dickies? Carhartt. He was in the Carhartt section. So, of course, the belts were $40. And I'm like, Chris, this is all Carhartt. Well, I don't see any other hangers for it. And I said, they wouldn't be in Carhartt. So he argued me a little bit about that. And then he kept going, go to the left, go to the left. And I kept telling him, that's women's clothes. That's women's clothes. That's women's clothes. And finally, for about the fifth time, he says, I think we need to go to the left. And I said, why do you want a new bra? And this woman looked at me kind of strangely. And I didn't think anything about it because then in a few minutes, he was like, sheesh, I didn't know. And I said, Chris, I swear I'm going to hit you if you don't quit it. And she turned around and gave me the dirtiest glare you have ever seen. If looks could kill, I would be 6 feet under. Seriously, I'd be a little pile of ashes in the middle of the Myers store. Then I really did feel like hitting him. And I felt like telling her, look, lady, it's just an expression. I'm not really going to smack him. Look at him for pity's sake.
And then here I go, in turn, threatening to sacrifice him to the supreme darkness. Speaking of.
And I was like, quit the heck, that woman's already looking at me like we were crazy. And she was an employee. So that made it just that much more entertaining. But we had a morning, didn't we, Ben?
Yeah.
Lord, Mom's supposed to take her a ride to her doctor's appointment today. I always take her, but I've been encouraging her to go with the ride because it's easier on her. She gets in her wheelchair and she doesn't have to get back out until she's at home ready to get in her bed. You know, she stays in her wheelchair the whole trip. She doesn't have to try to crawl in and out of the car. It's just easier. But of course, for like the umpteenth time in a row, they can't be bothered to show up on time. They have her for a pickup at 3:30. And that's what time they were supposed to pick her up after her appointment, which, by the way, was very late. So they never showed up, of course. And so about an hour before we had to be there, Mom said, ask your mom if she'll take me. And I'm like, of course I'll take her. And it took me 17 minutes to get out of the house. And I said, if I don't dilly-dally, and I go straight, and I drive the speed limit, if not just a tiny bit more, she won't be late, right?
Yeah.
I had 43 minutes to get her there. Going down 36, and what do we see, Ben?
Road closed.
Road closed. Detour. So we took the detour.
More road closed.
The detour led us to another road closed sign. So that was real freaking helpful. But I got her there, and even though she was late, they agreed to see her anyway. And so I'm very grateful for that.
She wasn't so late that they would force a reschedule.
And I'm not being rude about it, but it wasn't like she was seeing the real doctor. She's like seeing the physician's assistant or something. And whoever it is, whatever she does, she's in charge of managing Mom's medications. So, yay. Glad we got to see her. Well, I didn't. I stayed in the car. Didn't I, Ben? I told Mom, I said, I ain't going in. She said, it's too hot to stay in the car. I said, no, it isn't. But then we had to come back and deal with the road closure. But since I finally knew where it was actually closed at, we just came by the back way like I used to go home when we lived out on McBride Road, right?
Yeah.
And we saw the old house, and it's the first time Mom's seen it, I think, since she moved out of it. And she saw that the barn was gone and the cellar house is gone, and they painted the house tan, and it had white siding on it, so why they would paint it tan, I don't flippin' know. And
it's tan now?
Yeah, it's tan, and it just looks so very different, you know, from when we lived there. It's a little bit sad, but I don't know, I didn't notice, but they'd taken real good care of the pond, Chris. And there was a man out there walking around, and there was a girl probably about 12 or so, and she was wearing a bathing suit and fishing, and there was a little boy with one of those toy fishing poles, you know, that you give little kids. They don't really have a hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I told Mom, I said, that makes me feel good to see him using the pond and have it all cleaned up and nice again. And it does. It made me feel better about how shit the rest of the place looks.
Yeah.
No, if I didn't know what it looked like before, if I didn't have a mental image of what it should be, I would be happy with the way it looks. Because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
no
weird
longer
to
ugly
us.
anymore.
Well, it wasn't ever ugly.
In between our paint job and the tan, it was ugly. I saw it once. It was either blue or hot pink with white roof.
It was not hot pink, ever. I promise.
Then it was blue. An ugly shade of royal blue with white roof. That's how I saw it
Dang,
one
Ben.
time.
What?
You ate almost all those potato chips, didn't you?
Yeah. So?
Dude, he ate that on the road between Meyer and Kroger.
I would probably,
It's like hardly any trip at all.
I would probably finish that thing if I wasn't busy holding the camera.
So do you want to tell what you got?
You may have seen a little bit of it during the video, but I managed to get a whole bunch of cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically, all but one of them came from the Supreme Darkness booster pack. I didn't get very much in the way of cards I was aiming to get, but, you know, you never know what you're going to get until after that pack has been opened.
That's why I don't like blind boxes. I like to know what I'm buying. I guess it's because I don't have much money to buy stuff and I need to make it last.
Yep.
For instance, a friend sent me $50 today, which I'm assuming was for my birthday. And I went and got a pair of shorts and a t-shirt for me and the cards for Ben. And then I paid for Chris's new belt. And Chris, what else did you get?
A Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt and a Pink Floyd shirt.
Little jealous.
Guys,
What? What?
I hope that the viewers are okay.
What?
Darkest Night just went after them.
Har. But no, he got a purple Pink Floyd shirt,
Yeah.
which I found amusing.
And a picture of a lady, probably for one of their CDs.
Okay. When we get up here just a little bit, you're going to need to point down. So Chris got some goodies and I got some goodies. And Ben got some goodies. And we bought ice cream bars for Mom and frozen pizzas for everybody else.
Yeah. And one more thing.
Except me, because I don't want one. What?
All in all, it was all just bricks in the wall. all in all, we are all just bricks in a wall.
You should watch that movie. That movie is messed up.
Just not on a date, though.
It is messed up.
The music video for Another Brick in a Wall had movie parts in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
The most messed up part was when they were grinding up the bad kids in the sausage.
Well, that was nothing. He did this for real for the movie. He was shaving his chest and he shaved off one of his nipples.
That is pretty messed up.
For real, for the movie. Okay, that's commitment to the part, baby.
Yeah.
Majorly commitment to the part. But it's a good movie. I would watch it again. I haven't seen it in a few years. You know, though,
streaming.
you know, though, I never think of it as being a musical. I don't think of Tommy as being a musical either. You say musical to me, and I'm going to say Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Or Hamilton.
Or, yeah, maybe Hamilton, although I haven't seen it yet. Or Little Shop of Horrors. I love that movie. So,
Half movie, half musical. What could go wrong, right?
we need to mow. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I had to be ornery about it, didn't
Pass
I?
me my bag, buddy.
Yep.
Let's wrap this up, shall
I
we?
am. Thank you all for joining us. How long was our video?
Oh, a little under 12.
Okay, it's a short one, but they've been too long lately anyway. Thank you for joining us. I guess that's about it. Come see us on Friday. I'll tell you all the stuff I forgot to tell you today. And, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.